Hi, and welcome to this really exciting masterclass where you are going to learn how to impact people and make a difference in their lives. If you're a therapist and would like to be an outstanding therapist and get almost guaranteed results time after time so that you can live a life of tremendous satisfaction knowing that you are impacting people's lives, or if you're not a therapist but would actually love to be able to do that, to have a career that gives you meaning and purpose, to impact lives, to make a difference, to know that you're doing something that's deeply, deeply significant, well, you're both welcome.
You can change like that. You can transform in minutes if you know how to do it. And I know how to do it, and I'm going to show you today something amazing.
Marissa has been voted Britain's top coach by Tatler, by Time Out. She has worked with the royal family. Princess Diana was one of her clients. She works with the who's who of Hollywood. So people right at the top, from princesses to Hollywood A-listers.
I break down how your mind works to just 3 things. It's all you need to know. And when you put those 3 workings of the brain into practice, I promise you, you can have almost anything you want. You can have an extraordinary business. You can have a beautiful relationships that last. You can have the kind of body and health and fitness you want. I taught 16,000 therapists. There's only 3 things wrong with every person that turns up at your door. First of all,
Marissa Peer,
the worldwide renowned therapist.
With royalty, international superstars, CEOs and Olympic athletes, this woman definitely knows a thing or 2,000 about how we take control of our thoughts.
80% of your success is down to your beliefs, but also it damages so many people, because if you're thinking, I'm not good enough, smart enough, attractive enough, your mind's job is to make your thoughts real, even if it's not true.
Marissa, how do I avoid sugar? It seems to grab me.
Food has memories, not the chocolate, it's the feeling you felt when you couldn't have it. And you can give yourself the feeling without the thing anyway. It's really easy too.
How?
Should I hypnotize you so we can change it?
Let's do it now.
Okay, close your eyes. And here's the magic sentence that changes your life.
Hello, everybody. Just welcoming you all in. Lovely to see you all this evening. So if you're just arriving, please just pop a little hello in the chat and let me know where you're from, because I always like to know where we've got everybody kind of dropping in from. I'm so happy to be here today. We've got something truly, truly exciting for you. Trust me, this isn't your just general webinar. It's not like anything that you've been to before, because today we're doing something so special for you. And Marissa's put together an amazing transformational experience for you. So she's going to show you one of her fantastic RTT techniques in action, which is not only going to just give you a sneak preview of how RTT works, but a little taster of transformation as well. And you might even think, I'd like to do this myself, and we're going to tell you how. So she's going to guide you through this amazing live wealth and abundance vortex, which is going to help you to remove the hidden blocks that may be holding you back to wealth, abundance, success. So maybe at the moment you're thinking, I just feel a little bit stuck in life. I want to be here in my career, or I want to be earning more money, but something is stopping me. And Marissa is going to tell you and show you what that is and help you remove that, so that you can live this life of freedom and abundance. So really, really exciting. So some of you will be here today just to enjoy that Marissa experience. And that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine, because Marissa always puts on an amazing experience for anyone that joins in. But some of you might be here today as well because you're interested in RTT, whether it's doing a session yourself or maybe it's training in RTT. So what I'd also love for you to do is let me know why you're here today. So pop in the chat for me. Are you here for you because you just want to come here and have the amazing experience with Marissa? Are you here to maybe train in RTT, or maybe even both? So pop in the chat for me, train me, or both. So let me know in the chat. I know there's lots of you in the chat today, so I'm struggling to kind of keep up at the moment, but I will go back and look in a moment. But she's going to share with you as well. Marissa's going to share a little bit about her journey to becoming a therapist. And then I'm going to kind of jump in as well. So I should have introduced myself at the start, but my name's Elise and I am the head of publicity for Marissa Peer. And I'm also a trained RTT therapist. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my journey with RTT personally and how it helped me get well from a chronic health condition and life for me now as an RTT therapist. So we're going to show you exactly how Marissa trains and supports her therapists to have massively successful practices if that is something that you're interested in. And we're going to also share a fantastic new program as well, which is basically, all I can say is it's the most amazing business in a box, where we train you to be a therapist and we focus on you becoming the therapist and work in partnership with you to build your business. But more about that later. But like I say, this is something really special and really unique today. So in a moment, I'm going to hand you over. So please, as we're going along, if there's any questions, just pop them in the chat, because we are going to have a Q&A at the end as well. But for now, I'm going to hand you over to a lady who needs no introduction. It's Marissa Peer. So over to you, Marissa.
Money blocks, abundance blocks. What does that mean? Well, I'm just actually writing my new book, and I've been writing a chapter about someone I worked with, and it was a lottery winner. I worked about 15 years ago with a man who worked in a factory. He was on a very minimum wage, and then he won the lottery, and he won a lot of money. And within 3 years, he was back in the factory. When I worked with him, I said, "What happened?" He said, "Well, you know, when I always wanted to have all that money. I very much lived, you know, week to week. I got my paycheck on a Friday. It was all gone by the following Thursday. And that's what I knew. So when I won all that money, I bought a big house and I bought lots of cars and I moved to this house on the hill. I thought it's what I wanted, but actually I was very lonely there. And nobody really liked me. The neighbors didn't like me. So I'd go back every Saturday or Friday night to a little pub where I lived. And it was so weird, because if I bought everyone drinks, they'd go, "Look at you showing off, you got money." But if I didn't buy them drinks, they'd go, "Oh, have you forgotten what it's like for us? Aren't you a rich guy? Why have we got to pay?" He said, "I didn't fit in anywhere. I was lonely. I never knew who I was. I didn't love that money." He said, "But when I lost it all and I went back to the factory and back to that community, that's where I belong." You know what he said? He said, "I didn't like those rich, stuck-up people, those fat cats, those people who were filthy rich." And you see, he said some interesting words. He said, filthy rich, obscene amount of money, disgustingly rich, fat cat, rich bitch, and filthy money. And I said, now I know where you lost all that money. When you talk about money in that derogatory way, those people, those fat cats, that rich bitch, those people are disgustingly rich, obscenely wealthy. What you're saying is money is a bad thing. And if it's a bad thing, how are you going to have it? You can't attract something bad. You can't both attract and repel. It's like a magnet. You can't have a repelling magnet that's attracting. So while you have repelling thoughts, you can't attract money. In the same way that if you say, "Oh, you know, I don't trust love," it never works out. You get dumped in the end. You're attracting and repelling. You're expanding and contracting. So today, even before we begin doing this powerful rewiring to take you back and just wire out those old beliefs, I want you to imagine when you take your car to the car wash, it's a bit grubby and dusty, and those brushes kind of rotate, and as they rotate, they take off all the crud and all the dirt, and your car looks all shiny and new. So we're going to do something where you're going to be having this vortex go through you and wash out and spin out and vibrate out your old beliefs so you can put in new. I believe you can't put in new till you get rid of the old. So before we begin putting in these new beliefs, which are actually not that new, because when you were born, see, when you were in the womb, it was like being in the Hilton. It was like being in the Four Seasons. It was always 75 degrees. You had 24-hour room service. Somebody was always there. And no baby was born going, I shouldn't wake my parents up, they're tired. I shouldn't spit out this food, my mum spent ages making it. I shouldn't get my clothes dirty, my mum spent so long buying them, ironing them, washing them. The baby has this belief, I can have everything I want. I can wake you up at 4 in the morning. I can go to sleep at 3 in the afternoon. I can refuse that food. Because in the womb, all your needs are met. So we are actually born with this belief, I can have whatever I want. And here's a question for you. What happened? What happened? We just spend like 2 or 3 minutes and then we're going over what happened. Because here's the thing I love. The word cure comes straight from the word curious. When you're curious, oh, so I was born with abundant beliefs. I was born believing I was worth everything. What happened? When you think about what happened, that's how you get rid of it. You can't fix what you don't understand. But let me give you some clues about what happened. How many of us had parents who said, I haven't got the money, you know, for you to have more, I got to have less. I worked with a client who was telling me that whenever she needed, her mother had little jars like this, a jar of money for bills and a jar of money for something else. And if she wanted shoes, she'd have to move all the jars around and something had to go. And she always felt, well, if I have more, you have less. You know, I worked with Vishen Lakhiani. He said within 4 months of my session, he tripled his income. He went back to this amazing scene as a kid where his school teacher was very poor and noble. And also when his parents couldn't afford to buy him a birthday gift, and he felt, oh, if I ask for what I want, they will suffer. So I want you to think just for a minute, and you can put it in the chat bar if you want to. What did you pick up? Imagine this scene. I've seen it played out. Kids in the sweet shop, mum says, oh, go, you can have something, go and pick something. They come back with this huge bar of chocolate and they go, who do you think you are? That's too big, you can't have that. I can't afford that. You're being greedy, but a kid doesn't know that. What do you want for Christmas? I want a castle, I want a horse. Don't be ridiculous. We can't get a horse. You see, this is what I teach all my students. They find people come to them and they have money blocks, love blocks, abundance blocks because of the conditioning they got as a child. If you have more, someone else has less. Imagine you got a cake and you got a big piece. You see, you've got a big piece. Now your sister's got a little piece because you're greedy. Don't ask. And who's heard this? I want never gets. But in the Bible, it says, ask and you should be given. So we've got to think about these things we pick up and how confusing it is. So put in the chat bar, what did you hear? Money doesn't grow on trees. I can't find the money. How weird is that? Mum, can I have a bite? No, we can't find the money. But nobody finds money. You find your gift and you monetize it. You don't go, I've got to pay my gas bill. Let me go for a walk and find the money. So we hear stuff about money that's really confusing. People like us don't have money. Money doesn't grow on trees. I can't find it. We haven't got the money. I don't know where the money's coming from. Money slips through my fingers. We just can't find the money. So today, when you've had a quick look at your limiting beliefs about wealth, money, abundance, let's do one very quick exercise, because a lot of you here are empaths. You're therapists, you want to be therapists. And therapists are interesting people. I've trained almost 20,000. And they're very good at giving, not good at receiving. Nurses are the same. A lot of people look at the world and you know, the world isn't fair. I want love and kindness. I know. I become a nurse, a therapist, a doctor, and I'll give it. But they give and they don't receive. So just before we begin our vortex, let's do one thing to change you. If you're a giver, if you're one of those people who gives of your time, but never asks, I want you to breathe in. I want you to take a breath. Just breathe in right now. You breathe in, breathe out. That's easy. First thing you did when you were born is take a breath. Second was to give it away. But I want you to be a proper giver. Breathe in. And for the next 4 minutes, just give that breath away. Keep exhaling. Start right now. Breathe out. Keep going. Keep going, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Do not breathe in, exhale more and more. We're not even a minute in, we've got at least 3 minutes to go. Exhale, exhale. And you'll find that even a minute in, you think, I don't like this. It feels uncomfortable, it feels painful, it feels out of balance. So go ahead and breathe out. But now be a taker instead of a giver. I want you this time to breathe in and hold that breath for 4 minutes. Just take everything you can, take all the air in the room. You need it more than someone else. Keep taking, 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 keep breathing in. Hold it, hold it. We've got 3.5 minutes to go. Take more, keep taking air in. And again, it's going to feel so odd, so unnatural, so uncomfortable. And when it does, breathe out. And now go back to balance. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. exhale, because that is balance. Giving and receiving and saying, I give of my talent and I receive. I give this great therapy and I receive a great paycheck. I give of myself, but I receive. So we're not just giving and we're not just taking, we're giving and receiving. So my coaches love doing this because we need balance in our life, in our career, in our relationship, and in our relationship with money. And we have a relationship with money. Oh, I'm scared of it. I can't get enough of it. I hold on to it so tightly. I worry about it running out. I worry about never having enough. Sometimes I worry about having too much. You know, when you have your friend, when you have money, you never know who your friends are. When you have money, it's lonely. That's not true. I went to Richard Branson's island. I've never met a less lonely person in my life. Got a lot of money, a lot of friends, but you know why? He shares it. So let's begin the vortex. I'm going to help you do a lot of things, but let's just start with this vortex. And all it is, you're going to imagine a vortex of energy spinning above your head. It's going to go through your body all the way down to your toes. And just like those rotating brushes of a car wash, it's going to spin out the old. And as it vibrates out the old, it's going to wire in, code in, and fire in the new. It's going to change your limiting thoughts, your limiting beliefs. Just before we begin, just remember a couple of beliefs. A fool and his money are easily parted. When you have money, you never know who your friends are. It's lonely at the top. People don't like people with money. When you have money, you're not safe. People are going to take it off you. And so on and so on and so on. Just think of those beliefs you heard from your parents, you picked up from the media, and be prepared to let them all go. And when you're ready, I want you to look up. We're going to practice this first. Look at my eyes. You're going to look up. You're going to keep those eyeballs up, but close the lids. Do that with me right now. Look up. It's just a rehearsal. Keep your eyeballs up, keeping your eyeballs up the whole time. Close your eyelids down. If you can do that, you're going to what's called an alpha brainwave. So now you practice it. Let's actually do it. Look up again. Keep your eyeballs up. Look up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep your eyeballs up again. Breathe in. Breathe out. And just one more time, keeping your eyeballs up. Breathe in. And as you exhale, keep your eyeballs up, but at the same time, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. Just keep your eyes closed from now on. And with your eyes closed, just drop your chin, just a fraction, so you have that looking down sensation. Just get that very same looking down feeling that you might get as you look over a balcony or down a flight of stairs. You are looking down 10 steps. You have that looking down sensation right now. You're looking down 10 steps, and as I count backwards, you're going to see your feet, hear your feet, feel your feet connecting to every step. You are looking down 10 steps. You're moving on to step 10. As each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9. You can see your feet connecting to every single step. As you take step 8, you can hear your feet and feel your feet connecting to every step. As you take step 7, you are going deeper with every sound you hear. As you take step 6, every sound, every noise, every movement around you is flowing through you, relaxing you more. As you take steps 6 and 5, you're going deeper with the sound of your own breathing. As you take step 4, you're going deeper with the sound of your own heartbeat. As you take step 3, my voice is taking you deeper. So just take step 2, take step 1, go deeper, deeper, deeper. And as I click my fingers and say the words, go deeper, drift deeper, you are going deeper and deeper into an awareness of yourself. So just go deeper, Deeper and deeper, just go even deeper still. And as you go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, I want you to imagine just above your head right here is a vortex of powerful spinning energy. It's rather like a child spinning top. And you can see it vibrating in a clockwise direction from left to right. So I want you to see almost like a tornado, but a good one, like an enormous spinning top. I want you to see it just above the crown of your head, spinning in a clockwise direction from left to right, spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating. I want you to see it in your mind's eye. I want you to pick a beautiful healing color. And I want you to imagine you can even tune into that hum, that kind of hum as this vortex spins and twists and turns. It's wider than your shoulders. It has a tail that's narrow, and it's about to go right through your body, realigning, rebalancing, recoding, and resetting. And now's the time to begin. So I want you to feel the tail of that vortex touching the crown of your head, moving into your head. And as it moves into your brain, into your mind, into your memory, it is searching for limiting beliefs, blocking thoughts. It is searching for anything that has limited your ability to attract wealth and to maintain wealth. It is searching for it, and it's finding it. This powerful vortex of healing energy is moving into your mind, spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating. It is finding straight away. It is finding any limiting beliefs. It is spinning, twisting, turning, just like those vibrating brushes of a car wash. And as it comes across these beliefs, well, if you have more, someone else has less. You don't deserve to have more. People like us don't have money. If I have more, you have less. If I have more, I won't have any friends. People don't like you with money. As this vortex comes across these limiting beliefs, I want, never gets. As it finds them and understands this is old stuff. You picked up these beliefs when you've been on the planet for maybe 8 years, not long enough to realize what you were doing to yourself. But today you realize, oh, look at that. I learned that when I was 7, and not really true. It doesn't have to be true to me. And as you pick up that belief, you are allowing it to vibrate out of your mind. Any limiting belief about money, any blocking thought, any limiting belief, any negative belief that's got right in your own way is being dislodged, is being shoved, sucked, pushed, moved out of this vortex. Rather like a massive vacuum cleaner, rather like an enormous broom, it is dislodging, sweeping, sucking, shoving, moving those limiting beliefs out. They're vibrating out. They're moving out. They're moving out of your mind. What you think, those old thoughts that got in your way, they're vibrating out, spinning out, moving out. And as the old thoughts vibrate out, you're creating a clean slate where you can say, I deserve money. I'm worthy of money. I can be successful. We're going to come back to that later. Right now, just focus again and again on wiring out, vibrating out the old, letting it go. And because the vortex is moving down the entire time, although it's now in your mind looking for, finding, releasing limiting beliefs, it's traveling down to your eyes. As it travels down to your eyes, you can see what you saw as a child. You can see the beliefs you picked up. Oh, money's hard to come by. People like us don't have money. Money comes from money and we don't have it. And I want you to imagine you can let all of that go. You have the power to change what you see, what you really see. Here's the thing. You cannot change what's behind you, but you can absolutely change what is in front of you by changing the thoughts and beliefs that live inside of you. And as the vortex hovers around your eyes, you're seeing so clearly, so precisely what you saw as a child and how you made sense of that. And now the vortex is traveling down to your ears, and your ears open. You can hear All the things you heard about money, people like us don't have money. You have to go to university to have money. You'll never make money working for someone else. Life is too hard without money. When you have money, you never know who your friends are. You can hear all these incorrect beliefs that you had no choice but to let in as a child. But today you have the choice to stop thinking. You see, when you stop thinking a thought, it's gone. Today you have the joy, the luxury, the power to stop thinking a limiting thought and indeed to replace it with a better one. So this vortex is working on what you think, what you believe, what you see, even what you hear. And now as it travels down to your mouth and throat, you begin to focus on what you say. And we're going to say some things out loud that might feel unfamiliar. Remember, this is not strange and it's not weird. It's not even hard, but it might be unfamiliar. The brain loves what is familiar, which is why that lottery would have went back to nothing. But we can make anything familiar. So as you say these statements, they may feel unfamiliar, but guess what? Keep doing them, they start to feel familiar. Repeat after me. I am worthy of wealth. Say it again. No mumbling as you're going to say it, state it, affirm it, and literally embody it. Put some power in your voice. I am worthy of wealth. I am deserving of wealth. I deserve money. I have a talent and I can monetize my talent. Let's say that all over again with more power, more passion, more certainty. I am worthy of wealth. I am deserving of wealth. Say it. I'm worthy of money. I like money. It comes to me easily, and I do good things with it. Now, we're going to say this again, and you're going to really notice how you feel. One more time. I am worthy of wealth. I am deserving of money. I attract money. I do good things with it. I am worth abundance. Now, when you say those things, 4 things happen. The first is, wow, I like this. Feels really good. Let me say it again. But the second is, do you know, I feel so sad when I say that. My eyes fill up with tears because I don't really believe it. The third is, you know what, Marissa? I feel kind of angry because I don't believe you. And the fourth is, well, this is just silly old woo-woo, isn't it? No, it isn't. It's quantum physics. The most reliable science in the world says this. If you can change your energy and how you vibrate, you can change your entire life. So if you feel sad, angry, or dismissive, it just means one thing: you haven't yet made it familiar enough. And that's fine. Keep going until you do. So let's do it again. Let's make it more familiar with unshakable certainty and conviction in your voice. Say out loud, I am worthy of wealth. I am deserving of money. I'm worthy of abundance. I deserve it. I'm making it familiar. I attract money and I do good things with it. I monetize my gifts. I'm worth it. And just allow that to sink in as that vortex spins and twists and turns and vibrates through your mind, through your body, as it works through what you hear, what you see, what you say, what you believe. Because a belief is nothing more than a thought you think a lot. As that vortex spins through you, everything is changing. So just spin and spin and spin even more. The vortex is spinning through your brain, spinning through your memory, spinning through your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your throat. It's traveling down your spine. It's covering your shoulders. It's traveling down your body. It is spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating like a powerful vacuum cleaner, sucking out the old and leaving space for the new. It's traveling to your big, beautiful heart. And you may have a heart that's been broken many times, but your heart is like one of those amazing Japanese vases. See, a bodybuilder will break a muscle to make it grow back bigger. And your broken heart just grew back bigger, and all the cracks of that beautiful gold filigree. And you have a very functional heart that knows one thing:
how to repair itself. You also have a functional brain that knows, oh, I can attract wealth. I can attract wealth. So just allow this vortex to spin through your heart, through your lungs. And again, take a breath in. As this vortex spins through your heart, take a breath in and give that breath away. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a breath, give it away. Keep taking, receiving, and giving. And see that balance. Look at me, giving and receiving, taking a breath, giving it away. So natural. And this is how it is from now on. You give of your gift, you give of your talent, and you receive. You have perfect balance. You are giving, receiving, receiving, and giving. That vortex is spinning through your heart, through your lungs, spinning through your body, spinning through your arms, spinning through your legs. You notice everything is changing. Your body is more flexible. Your attitude is more flexible. That vortex is spinning, twisting, turning, spinning, vibrating, spinning out the old, washing out the old, vibrating out the old, and wiring in, coding in the new, traveling down your body until your entire body from your head to your feet is encased, enveloped, encompassed in this beautiful vortex, this energy that is twisting, turning. This is quantum physics in action. You are changing your energy body, changing your vibrational body, changing your relationship with money, because we have a relationship with money. We're scared of it. We don't think we know what it is. We've never had it. We think if we have it, people won't like us. But I want you to imagine, hey, money is actually a great thing. So while you're in this order, I want you to think of one thing. Who would benefit from you having wealth? I want you to imagine you're making a list of who would benefit. Would you put your sister's kids or your brother's kids through school, or your kids? Would you employ people? Would you give money to charity? Who would benefit from you having wealth? Make that list long. Who would benefit? What would you do with money? Who would you help? Who would you benefit? And when that list gets longer and longer, you can go back to that. What's bad about having money? Well, what's bad is these people couldn't benefit. You see, here am I giving away all these free classes. You know why I do that? Because I have enough money to do it. Once upon a time, I couldn't afford a cameraman and an editor. But when I had money, I thought, wow, I can make all this stuff free now because I got enough money to give it away. And you're no different to me. Who would benefit from you having money? And how would they benefit? What would you do? What would you give? Think about that now. And allow that vortex to vibrate the list in of all the good things you do with money. Who benefits? Who do you help? Who are you a benefactor to? Who do you employ? Which charities do you help? What do you do? Wire that in. I want you to imagine, what does it feel like to have money? You ought to really feel it now. What does it feel like to have money? It feels like this. You don't have to look at the labels when you're food shopping. You don't have to turn down the heating or the air conditioning. So I want you to take a minute and imagine, what does it feel like? What does it look like? How is your life different? What does it look like? Are you traveling in business? Do you have your own car? What does it look like? And for you, eating better food because you can. What does it feel like, look like? What does it sound like when you can say, let me get that for you? You know, the other day I was watching something on Facebook and this woman said, I just found this cat. It's got 2 broken legs. I can't afford it. I said, you know what? Let me pay for that for you. It's $1,000. Let me pay for this poor cat that you found with 2 broken legs because I can. I'm not showing off. I want you to imagine that feeling when you can say, let me pick that up for you. Let me pay for that. Let me get that. Let me give you that. Let me do that. Not to be a show off, but because you can. Stay in this. You've got to really do this. What does it feel like, look like, sound like? When you can say to a school, hey, let me buy a computer for the school. Let me buy some books. You know, Dolly Parton's done that all over America. She's put books into schools because she can. Shakira's rescued dogs all over the world because she can. What does it feel like, look like? What does it smell like? You know, I can smell the money. I can taste it. I can smell the success. Use all of your senses. What does it look like, feel like, sound like, smell like, taste like? Allow that vortex to spin through you, spinning in clearly what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, and really stay with it. I can see my life without money. I can see it. I can hear the different things I get to say. I can feel how good it feels. I can smell different smells, taste different tastes. Imagine it all and stay with it. When I was a kid, I could never imagine the life I have now. Maybe it might take me a long time to get it because I couldn't imagine it, but now I can because it's my life. I never turned left on a plane, had an Uber account, nothing like that. But now I've seen it and it's real. If you can see it, you can achieve it. If you can have it in you, you can have it out. If you take another minute, just another minute, and see it. We're going to do one more thing in this activation, one more very powerful thing. To have success and wealth, you need three things. The first is this mindset that says, I'm worth it. 80% of your success, 80% comes down to having an I'm worth it mindset. If you don't have that, you can lose it. 80% of lottery winners are bankrupt in 3 years. 90% of inherited wealth is gone in 3 generations for one reason. I didn't feel I was worth it. I got rid of it. So we got to work on this 80%. Step 1 is have the mindset I'm worth it. Step 2 is think about what you want and prepare to work really hard and then take it to market. So imagine you want to be a coach. You want to be an amazing therapist, a healer. Your first step is I'm worth it. Your second step is, well, let me perfect what an amazing coach, what an amazing healer, what an amazing therapist is. And my third step is let me take that to the world. Imagine you were Mel Robbins wanting to write a book. Your first step is, hey, I deserve to write a book. I'm worth it. Your second step is sit down and write that book. It's a lot of work, solitary. And then your third step is take that book to a publisher, an agent. And even when you've written it, do a lot of work to sell it. So let's work on number 1. The 80% of your success comes down to this I'm worth it mindset. Repeat after me. I am worthy of success. And again, I'm worthy of success. I want you to shout it at the screen. I'm worthy of success. I'm deserving of success. Remember, your mind learns by repetition. Wire that in. Fire it in. Code it in. Let's do it again and again and again. Like your grandmother said, practice makes perfect. Let's go. I'm worthy of success. I deserve success. I'm worthy of it. Think of the thing you want. Is that money? Is it a raise? Is it a promotion? Is it your own business? Whatever it is, I want you to say, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I deserve it. And now add that thing in. I am worthy of promotion. I'm worthy of a pay rise. I deserve my own business. I'm worthy of taking my gifts out to the world and monetizing them. I want you to do this again. I'm worthy of success. I deserve it. I'm worth it. I'm worthy. I deserve it. I'm worth it. Remember, you must have that 80% mindset. It is your job. It's not mine. It's yours to get that in there. And how do you do it? Well, you say it over and over and over again. You say it, you state it, you affirm it, you embody it. And then it stops being what you do. It becomes who you are. And now you are winning when it's not what you do, but it's who you are, you're winning. So let's do it one more time. Really go for it. Give it everything you've got. I am worthy of success. Feel that in your gut. Feel it in your voice. Feel it in how your voice vibrates. I'm worthy of success. I deserve success. I am worthy of wealth. I deserve wealth. I do so many good things with it. I am worthy of abundance. I deserve abundance. Abundance is coming to me. I am marrying powerful self-worth with hard work. I'm linking powerful self-belief with hard work. And I can't have anything because I'm worth it and willing to work for it. So that's step one. You got to do that over and over again. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Now let's go to step two. Think of the career you want. How could you improve that? How could you perfect that? How could you get even better? Even better still, what could you do? You see, what you require is going to require something. I require to write books, but that means I've got to learn to be a speaker. I've got to realize what is selling in the book market right now. It's not enough just to write. What I require requires something. What do you require? And what does what you require of you? You see, if you want your own store, you might have to learn marketing. If you want to be a great therapist, you're going to have to learn how to pitch yourself and find a niche and promote yourself. And when you've done step two, what do you require? And what does what you require of you? And you've really nailed that down. You can come back to it after today. You can go to step three, which is what I call JFD, just freaking do it. You have the self-belief. You know it is required of you. Now go and do it. Write that book, write that program, become a therapist, become a coach, become a healer, start finding clients, perfect your craft. Let people know you're good. So with all of that wiring into your body, you're overwriting the old stuff like a computer program, just like a computer full of bugs that you get out. We're getting the bugs out of your brain. We are rewiring, recoding, reprinting success into you. And you're going towards it just as it's coming to you. What you want wants you. And what you are moving towards will move towards you when you follow these steps, which you're going to follow because they're wired in, coded in. They're now in you, and they're going to stay in you. So just let that vortex spin and twist, and just for another few minutes, just feel it spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating, moving, washing out the old, coding in the new, vibrating out the old, wiring in the new. For another few minutes, it's spinning, twisting, turning. And as it spins and twists, it's imprinting onto you that it is your job to know you're worth it, to say it, state it, affirm it. It's your job. And that's great news because you can do this job so well, your job. Wiring and firing and coding. I'm worth it. I deserve it. It is your job to do what is required of you. It's your job to tell people what you're good at. And now all of this is in you. Your brain is remembering, recoding, imprinting. So let that vortex spin and twist and turn for just 30 seconds more, spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating, moving through your body, moving through your mind, powerfully, clearly, easily. And I want you to imagine you have two valves in the soles of your feet and you're opening them up. And you're letting that vortex just begin to trickle out. And all those limiting beliefs trickling out of your body. All those blocking thoughts are being sucked out, pushed out, shoved out of your mind and body. Anything that got right in your own way is leaving your body, leaving your mind, leaving your life. Limiting thoughts, blocking thoughts, limiting beliefs, toxic imprints, toxic memories. They're leaving your body. They're leaving your mind, they're leaving you. You are becoming wired for wealth, wired for abundance, wired for success. Success is not down to luck. It's down to two things: knowing you're worth it and working hard for it. And today you've wired in the worth it, but also wired in the ability to work for it. Success is not luck. It's not fortune. It's two things. I know I'm worth it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it. You have both of those things in you, and you're going to build on them every day, because every day when you're in the shower, you're now going to say, I'm worth it and I deserve it. What else are you going to do in this? I love the smell of this soap. It's a meditative place. The water's coming down. It's a time when there's just you and your thoughts, and you think your thoughts every day. Why not think better ones? So in the shower, you now say, I'm worth it. when you're waiting for the kettle to boil, the coffee to percolate, the toaster to pop, the Uber to arrive, the bus to turn up. You start working on your thoughts. The word response, able, responsibility means an ability to respond. It's your job. So one last time, shout it out. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I'm going to it, and it's coming to me. What I want wants me. What I'm moving towards is moving towards me. And as you think those thoughts, that vortex is leaving your body like sand trickling out of an egg timer. It's trickling out of your body, the old stuff, the old limiting beliefs, the old thoughts you picked up as a kid. Your thoughts are yours to change. A belief is nothing more than a thought you think a lot. They are your thoughts. Change them, upgrade them, improve them, get rid of them, stop them, and you get to choose. So let that vortex leave your body, leave your mind, leave your life, remembering this is not a one-off. You get to go back and do this again and again and again. People who make it leave clues. They marry extraordinary self-belief with hard work. Success is not luck. It's self-belief that you build on and work that you do. So knowing it, feeling it, believing it, letting the old vibrate out and the new wire and code in, letting that vortex leave your body through your feet. When you're ready, you can slowly, calmly, easily, just take a minute. Just come back into the room, just open your eyes, give yourself a few moments to come back. I'd love you to put in the chat bar what that felt like. What did you get rid of? What did you let go of? Did you always have secondhand stuff because you were the youngest kid until you felt you never got anything new? Did you have to share everything or give it away? What are you let go of? What are you letting go of now? And what are you putting in its place? So put in the chat bar what you remembered, the things you heard, and how you're letting them all go, letting them all go, and what you're putting in its place. And you know, we have someone here who some time ago was very, very unwell, a single parent, and couldn't even imagine how she could fund her life. She was a single parent. She had an illness, a very severe illness, and she couldn't imagine how she could make money. And then she trained with me. She's changed so many lives. And as she tells you, I want you to think of something. Hey, if she could do that with an illness, I can do it. People who make it don't come from it. They just don't imagine if you could do this technique for yourself, but show it to other people, change lives. You see, here's what great wealth is. It's not just when it's having a career where you make an impact. It's doing something that matters. It's knowing, wow, I'm changing someone's life. That's extraordinary wealth. That's something priceless. My career gives me meaning, purpose, and impact. I help other people. I shift their money blocks, their abundance blocks, their love blocks, wealth blocks, health blocks, you name it. Elise is going to tell you about how she was very stuck. She was very unwell. She couldn't think of a career. I mean, how many careers do you know where you can work 3 hours a day from home and make the same money as working full time? How many careers do you know where you can have your own hours? You work from all over the world and charge your own fees and be your own boss. So Elise, I'd love you to share your story, because people think this is just what I do. But I've taught nearly 20,000 people to do this. Of course, you might be on here just to do this for you, and that's fine. I want you to do it for you. But if part of your limiting belief is, where can I find a career where I can make a difference, do something good, work from home because I'm a parent, and make a great living too? Well, we're going to tell you. We're going to show you, because that's exactly where Elise is. Over to you, Elise.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And that's a topic that really resonates with me as well, being a girl that grew up in the valleys of Wales, where there was a lot of poverty. And I had a family around me who used to say things like, money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work really hard to succeed. And I had this lovely granddad who was an amazing granddad to me. He was my absolute inspiration, and I am where I am because of him kind of cheering me up. He was my little cheerleader. But he used to spoil me. My mum used to say, "Oh, he spoils you by buying you things." So I grew up with this really kind of negative view of money, that if I had money, I was spoiled, that money didn't grow on trees. It wasn't available to me. So it's one of the reasons that it kind of led me to Marissa, and one of the first things I did. And actually, when I think about it now, it's kind of what led me to be here today, because what that did lead me to do was to strive and to struggle, to make more money, to be successful, and to snap out of this little world that I was living in, where I was never going to succeed and I was going to have to struggle and strive. And so I pushed myself. I pushed myself so much that it led to me being completely burnt out and an MS diagnosis. And this is why I'm here today. So I first discovered RTT after many, many years of struggling with extreme anxiety. I was an anxious child who grew into an anxious adult, but I never sort of shared that I was struggling really badly with anxiety. I just pushed it down and pushed it down and pushed it down, and thought, no, if I tell anyone that I'm struggling, people are going to see me as weak. And I didn't want that, because, as I say, I was always pushing myself to be better. I was the perfectionist. I was the high achiever at school. So I would never, ever, ever show anyone that I was kind of struggling inside. But this led me to years and years of kind of stress, and the anxiety over the years just got gradually worse and worse and worse, to the point where I would wake up every morning, catastrophe around the corner. I would plan out what was going to happen that day. It was always going to be bad. I would literally get out of bed and be thinking, what terrible thing is going to happen to me today? I would go to work and just work in absolute terror. I was working in a really horrible, toxic work environment where it was encouraged to just work all day, all night, 24/7, no switch off. It's all about the hustle, go, go, go. And this just fueled the anxiety in me. And it also fueled I've got to keep going, because I need to be perfect. I need to carry on. And I can't show that I'm struggling, because then I'll be weak and I won't be that person, that little girl from the valleys who doesn't succeed. And so I pushed and I pushed and I pushed myself to the point where I was barely eating, barely sleeping, working around the clock. Work became my entire life, because when I think about it now, I wanted to show people that I was different, that I could succeed, that I was a success, and that I could have that money. I could earn that money. But ultimately inside, I was completely dying, neglecting my mental health, my physical health. And I noticed that my health had begun to decline. But I didn't know how to get out of it. And again, I just didn't want to tell anybody, because I thought, this is just weakness. If I show weakness, then I'm not going to succeed. So I've got to keep going. I've got to keep going. But I noticed that my health was starting to decline. And then I got pregnant with my son, which thankfully took me away from that horrible, toxic workplace, because I went on my maternity leave and suddenly felt so much better in myself, but was still really, really struggling with quite extreme anxiety, to the point where I was barely leaving the house at some points, because I just thought something bad was going to happen. There was catastrophe at every corner. I'd be telling myself, I'd be doing silly things, like I would get on a train or a bus with my little boy, and I'd be thinking, oh my gosh, right, I need to plan out my journey, because what if something bad happened now, or what would I do? And so anxiety was a huge part of my life. But after I had my son, I noticed lots of strange symptoms suddenly. I noticed that I was very, very, very fatigued, to the point where I could barely get out of bed in the mornings. I was struggling to even string a sentence together. I was really, really brain fogged. And at the time I thought, I've got like a young child, obviously, new baby, feeding in the night. So it's probably just because I'm really, really tired. But I had a series of sort of symptoms, little things like this, but I put it down to just being fatigued, because I'd just had my son. But then one morning I woke up, and it was like I was wearing sunglasses over one of my eyes. My vision was really dim in one of my eyes. And I just thought, no, this isn't right now. And of course, with any anxiety, anything triggers it. So health anxiety in particular was really bad for me. So it triggered that straight away. I was like, what's going on? Oh my God, I've got a brain tumor. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God, who is going to look after my son? And it just spiraled. So I went to see my doctor, who said, oh, you're fine. It's probably migraines, because you're sleep deprived, hormones, and sort of left me to it. But then, to cut a very, very long story short, because this was about 2.5 years that it took them to diagnose me, I was eventually diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. At this point, it was obviously devastating for me to find out that after 2.5 years of the doctors saying that it was just migraines, that I was just tired. Eventually, after an MRI and a lumbar puncture, I had that diagnosis confirmed. So when this happened, it was kind of almost, I would say, a relief, because I thought, I'm not going crazy. There is actually something genuinely wrong with me. But also it triggered that massive anxiety within me, which was, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Everywhere I looked, there were, storylines on TV of people with MS getting gradually worse, people walking with sticks everywhere that I went, people in wheelchairs. And I just thought, oh my God, this is my life. And the only advice I was getting from my doctors was choose a drug to go on, which will slow down progression, but you will just gradually get worse. So prepare yourself for that. So, of course, with like a young child, massive anxiety already, this was like my life was completely over. But I always say that the universe sends you these challenges for a reason. And it slowly became apparent why that was. So my son was actually offered a space at nursery early, at a younger age in Scotland, where I was based at the time, because I had this diagnosis. So he went off to nursery 3 days a week, which was brilliant for him because I had massive mum guilt at this point, because anxiety was so bad and the MS symptoms were so bad that I just didn't want to leave the house, because I was worried that if I went out and I was talking to someone, I might slur my speech, that they think I was drunk. Or I had really bad nerve pain and spasms, which would, I'd have to like literally just drop and sit down in the middle of the street if they struck, and they would just strike out of nowhere. So I gradually just didn't leave the house. So the fact that he got to go to nursery, I thought was great, but it then left this massive hole in my little world, because I was like, what will I do with myself? And I just had this moment one day, and I just thought, do I want my son to just see me get gradually worse and to watch me in a spiral of anxiety all of the time, and to just watch me decline and be like this forever? Or do I want to try and do something about it? Surely there's something that I can do. And so I started to look at ways to get myself well, because I thought, even if I can just feel less anxious, even if there's something that can help me with my fatigue, it'll be better, because life can be better. So I started to look for little things to make me feel better. And then again, signs from the universe. I was scrolling Facebook one day, which was really my link to the outside world, because I was barely leaving the house. So I was constantly on Facebook scrolling, and I saw this lovely lady, and she was doing a little kind of makeup demo and just talking about makeup and talking about MS. And she was explaining that she had MS and that she wasn't letting it hold her back. And I was just absolutely fascinated by what she was saying, because I was like, wow, what courage she has, that she's sitting there doing her makeup, talking about her journey, and she's not scared, she's not worried, and she's just smashing it. Well, I need some of this in my life. So I reached out to her and found out that she was part of a network marketing company, and love it or hate it, I know it's a divisive issue, but she said, look, it's done wonders for me and my confidence, and I'm earning some money now to help my family because I had to give up work. And everything she said, I really just related to. And so I signed up for this network marketing company. And that was the turning point for everything, because that is where I discovered Marissa. And I always say that it was Marissa who completely changed my life and helped me get well again. Because as soon as I started to sort of watch some Marissa content, and the network marketing company that I was in were really all about personal development. Go and read every book Marissa has ever done. Go and watch all the YouTube videos, which I did. And I started to binge the videos, and everyone just sort of seemed to instill me with a little bit more confidence. And everything she was saying made absolute sense. And I remember watching a video, and she was talking about cell command therapy, and about how, our body and minds become disconnected. But when we align everything together, we can reconnect that body-mind connection, and we can actually overcome physical health conditions. And I thought, there's something in this. This is making complete sense. And it's like she's speaking directly to me. So I decided to go and do an RTT session. And initially I did that RTT session around anxiety, because I thought, do you know what? If I do the RTT session on anxiety and that helps me get out of the house more, brilliant, perfect. So I went and did a session on anxiety, and came out, and it felt like this whole weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I just felt different. I felt like my energy felt different. I felt like so much lighter and freer. And so I thought, well, let's go in then and let's go in for the big guns. Let's do some sessions on MS and see if I can improve that. And then over the space of 6 months, I did 3 sessions, probably 9 months actually, 3 sessions. And the results that I got were incredible. So where I am today, 7 years on, I am now happy, free, well, able to sit here today, present to you, talk to you about my story and my journey, and be an RTT therapist because I did those sessions. I got myself well. I have never felt better. And I just thought, you know what? This is amazing, because when I was really sick, I was joining a lot of these support groups, but the support was, I'm having a bad day today. You know, I'm really sorry to hear that, but, you know, hugs, but nobody was actually offering a real solution to the problem. And I just thought, there's something about RTT. Maybe I could do this, because at this point, everything had improved in my life. I felt so much better in myself. I had less fatigue, less brain fog. And so I decided to look into it, still thinking a little bit at the back of my mind, can I do this? But at the same time thinking, there's something in this, I've got to do this. And I really want to help people the way that I was helped to get better as well. And so I went, and that's exactly what I did. And I jumped on board and got straight into it and decided to train in RTT. And I have never looked back. And it didn't just change how I felt, it changed who I became and the person that I am now. And so I absolutely love what I do. I went and I did the program. I did the virtual classrooms. I did the live trainings with Marissa, and it was just the most amazing thing. And at first I was a bit like, can I do this? But it quickly became apparent that it's such a supportive community, that you have all this support around you from Marissa, from the team of trainers, from your peers. And the training itself was just incredible. Fast forward, I then graduated and began my career as an RTT therapist. But what I found was that outside of the RTT sessions, I was also doing a lot of kind of coaching. It kind of went hand in hand. So when the team launched RTC, Rapid Transformational Coaching, I was like, yes, this is perfect. And so I actually went and did that as well, to team with the RTT. And it was just amazing, because it gives, I would say, you know, this real holistic approach, which is what you need when it comes to seeing clients. And it's this model for transformation, I think, because it not only heals the past, but then it helps people to build a new future. And it was just amazing. So it's fantastic that now Marissa has launched this incredible new program, which is called Integrated, which combines RTT with RTC all together, but not just that, because this is completely different to anything I've ever seen, actually, because I did loads of research when I was looking at going into coaching or therapy, but I've never seen anything like this, because not only does it combine RTT with RTC, with coaching, with therapy, it also basically, the company runs the business for you, helps you get clients, helps you to do your marketing, helps you to set up a website. And I wish I had this, because ultimately one of my biggest fears after I graduated and started doing everything was, I just want to do the working with clients, but I have no idea how to run a business. The Integrated is this, because it's actually a full done for you business in a box. So I wish I'd had this, but now you have this, and it's an absolute gift. So I think one of our lovely tech support team behind the scenes is just going to put up some slides now, just to tell you a little bit more about the program. And just to say, Marissa's going to join me after we've run through this as well, because we're going to do a Q&A at the end. So stick around, because if you've got any burning questions for Marissa, she's joining me after that. But I think if we can have the slides up now. Perfect, they're just coming. So yeah, so what has been really transformational for me in my life as an RTT therapist is that I'm actually waking up with purpose, because it's really meaningful work. So I went from having to give up my job completely to starting my own business. I work my own hours. I'm a single mom, so I work around my son. So I get to do all the lovely things like take time off to go and see him at his school plays. I get time off to go to medical appointments that I need to go to, because I choose my own hours. So I love the flexibility of being an RTT therapist and waking up with that purpose, because in my previous life, there were elements of my job I liked, but I never felt like I was really doing something completely, you know, with purpose behind it. So yeah, you can work anywhere in the world, set your own hours. So I went away to Mexico in the summer for my 2-week holiday, but I took my little iPad with me because I was still speaking to my clients, but I was able to do it on the beach by the pool and still be there for my clients as well. And then you can build massive business for this and have financial success as well. So I got rid of my little money blocks by doing some Marissa work, and I did her, I think it's the money mindset or abundance bundle that I used, I think it was, that's in the Marissa Peer shop. But it was brilliant because it helped me to release some of those blocks and actually realize that I was worthy and deserving of financial success, which really helped me when I started to build my business. As I mentioned, flexibility around your life. You can work part-time, full-time, fit your practice around children, travel, other commitments. So what I tend to do is some weeks or some months, I will dial up what I do and see more clients. Or if I have other commitments, so whether it's to do with my son, medical appointments, holidays, I dial it down. So it's all left up to you. You decide what pace you do it at, how many clients you see each week, depending on what you want your business to be. Continuous growth. We're always learning, always developing. Marissa always says we're flawsome, works in progress, and that's absolutely it. But one of the biggest things I would say is that when I did the training, at first I was thinking, can I do this? There was still that little element of doubt, but quickly after taking part in the sort of peer programs and taking part in the virtual classrooms, meeting with peers, meeting with trainers, I found that it just naturally built my confidence and my self-esteem over time just from doing the training. So I got a lot personally from the training, as well as being taught the skills to help other people. And that kind of ties into the next thing, community. You're going to join a global network of like-minded practitioners who understand and support your journey and are always cheering you along your way. So don't worry if you're thinking, could I do this? Because everybody is in the same boat when they start, but you're all there to cheer each other on. So just moving on to the next slide to tell you a little bit more about how integrated works. So basically, this is, like I say, unlike anything else, is a full partnership, basically, working with Marissa and the team, where one of the biggest things I thought when I graduated was, how am I going to get clients? Because that's the question everybody wants to ask, isn't it? And this is where this program is amazing, because the team here will deliver clients. They'll handle all the systems, the marketing, and guarantee that you earn back the investment that you put in. So we're going to deliver paying clients directly to you through our Inner Belief platform. So you don't have to go out there and hunt for business, because I know that is everyone's biggest fear, really. It's like, where am I going to find the clients? We do it for you. We also run and fund all your advertising campaigns on Facebook and Google. So again, what we want you to really focus on is being a phenomenal therapist. So give the business side to us and we'll run that for you so that you can go out there and change lives. We'll build a professional website. So we'll build and maintain your complete web presence from day one. So again, you don't have to have these kind of background worries, because we're there to support you on that. Also with the tech infrastructure, things like booking systems, payment processing, scheduling, it's all handled for you. And if you don't have any background in marketing, I mean, I had like a PR background, but I think it's very different when you're doing it for other people than when you're doing it yourself. And so we'll show you how to position yourself, find your niche, attract your ideal clients, and tell your story, because I think that's the most important thing. Your story is your superpower when it comes to attracting clients and working with people and being relatable. And Marissa's actually loves this program so much and has spent so long kind of developing it that we obviously do offer a money back guarantee as well. So if you don't earn back your investment within 12 months, we'll just refund you completely. So that's a little bit of an overview of how integrated works. So if any of what you've experienced today resonates with you, you'd love to learn how to guide others through this kind of transformation, we'll share a little bit how you can explore that later. And we are going to pop a book a call link, I think, into the chat shortly. One thing that I would say, I know a lot of you, when you come to these webinars, have reservations for, oh, I don't want to book a call because that's scary and I don't want to be sold to. And that was one of my biggest fears as well, because I was like, oh, I don't want to speak to someone. And what if they ask me awkward questions? And what if it's really pushy? And trust me, it's really, really, really not. When I spoke to them, it was like working with a little therapy team, because they were really interested in me. And I'd done a number of calls with various companies over the years when I was sort of researching. But what I loved is they were really interested in me and whether actually I was the right fit to be an RTT therapist. So please don't think it's a pushy call, because it's really, really, really not. It's just, they will chat to you. They will talk you through all the sort of payment plans that we offer. They'll talk you through the program, how it works, and they'll answer any questions that you have. So don't be scared, because if there's one thing that I regret, it's not doing this sooner, because I think I put it off for about a year because I was like, no, I don't want to speak to someone. And I wish that I'd done it a year previously, because yeah, it's just the best career in the whole wide world. And now I'm well, I am happy, and I'm living this life of purpose and passion where I get to help other people get well too. So that, yeah, because that's what I niche in. I now work with other people with chronic health conditions and chronic anxiety to help them reclaim their lives and transform it for the better. So there's a little bit about my story, a little bit about me as a therapist. So pop your questions. I can see that there's a few questions coming into the chat, and I think Marissa's just going to join me in a second, and she's going to join me to answer some of your questions. So thank you to everybody who's been popping them in the chat so far. I can see there's lots coming through actually, so I'm just going to start reading them out. So, oh, Marissa's back here. Okay, perfect. So, Marissa, we've got some questions in the chat. I'm just going to go through some that the lovely Ariel has pulled out. Becky is asking, how long is the course, and is it completely online or at site and live?
You can do the online course in approximately 9 months, combining being an RTT therapist and rapid transformational coach. So RTT and RTC, you do have the chance to come and do a 5-day live supervision. So you can do online, or you can do online and live. But the online is not online as in we're sending you a bunch of videos. It's what I call live online. You're in a classroom with me and my trainers, and you are training live. It isn't just, oh, I've got all these videos to watch and I'm actually teaching myself. You are being taught, you're being instructed, you're being watched, you're being supervised. We have something called the practice intensive. We have a virtual classroom. So we actually put you with other therapists to practice with. It's actually a great thing to know to do online therapy. Say, oh, isn't live better? Isn't live therapy better? Well, not necessarily. Of course, you can have a room in a spa, your own clinic, you can work from home. But people nowadays like it. I work with a lot of troubled kids, and they do not want to come to a therapist. They want to be in their bedroom on a screen. That's their world. And have therapy on a screen. I've been working with some police officers, and I'd never go to a therapist office, but I like sitting in my kitchen having therapy on a screen. So learning on screen and doing therapy on screen is the new way. The only reason people didn't do online therapy before is when therapy was invented in the 60s. In the 50s, there were no screens. So you can do therapy online, and you can learn it live online. You're in a classroom with me, you can interact, you can ask me questions, I'll answer them just like today. It's not a video training course. It is a live online virtual classroom training course. So you can do it live. And if you want to have, you can do it live online. But you can also have a 5-day live training. We take the live training to Berlin, to Los Angeles, to London, to New York, to Amsterdam, and indeed to Dubai. So lots of places for you to do the live element. About 9 months to do both the coaching and the therapy. Some people, because they've already got some background, do it faster. Allow yourself about 9 months and you'll love it. It's amazing.
Someone's asked, how does the wealth vortex actually work?
Well, if you understand quantum physics, it says your energy, your matter, there is words of energy. When I say, oh God, I'm so shattered, I'm knackered, I'm defeated, that's an energetic word. When I say I'm up, I'm brilliant, I'm full of energy, that's a word. Words have energy. You can pick up, if you ever go to Auschwitz or I went to Alcatraz, you can feel that terrible energy in the air. But you have an energy. And when you're using the vortex, you are changing it. Because, I was sick and I went to Lourdes and I felt the energy. Or I went to Haiti and I felt this horrible energy. So energy exists, very much so. We are energy, we tune into energy, and the vortex is working on a different energy, not the old energy of what you heard when you were 3 or 6 or 10, but your energy to say, I don't need that. If you go into someone's house, they've been fighting, you feel the energy. In fact, there's an experiment where you take mice and torture them. It's a terrible thing. Then you take fresh mice, put them in the room, and they panic because they can pick up the energy of the previously tortured mice. So energy is real. If you go into a house and someone's just had a bad fight, I don't like the energy there. It's not a good energy. So I get people in to do all this clearing before you buy a building. In fact, I went to look at a school years ago for my daughter, and it felt so odd. And when later they said this school was an orphanage for children in the Crimean War, I thought, no wonder. I knew I'd never send her to that school. It just had this weirdest energy, but it used to be an orphanage for children whose fathers died in the war in the 18-something. And I felt that energy really very, very powerfully. So the vortex is just looking at your energy, wiring out the old coding. It's like saying, you know, I mowed my lawn and the weeds came back. Well, of course it did, because you didn't take the weeds out except at surface level. So before we plant new flowers, you've got to take out the weeds. So this vortex is taking out old stuff that's just old. It just doesn't belong there anymore. It takes out the old. You're free to wire in, code it, and fire in something new and beneficial. So it's an energy, your energy, I'm energy, and you can change your energy. You can change your energy body, energy of your thinking, the words you use, once you know how. And then, if you want to, you can use your changed energy to change the energy and the life of every client you see.
So much, Marissa. Another question from Ivana. Can I work as an RTT therapist even if I can't be hypnotized?
Well, there's no such thing as can't be hypnotized, because you get hypnotized every day when you drive to work and you know the route off by heart. When you drive home on autopilot, when you're so engrossed in a film and the doorbell rings and you jump, we get hypnotized every single day. Hypnosis is not about going to sleep. It's about waking up to your potential. So you can't not be hypnotized, because in fact you get hypnotized every day. In fact, I think in the 70s, they were putting subliminal hypnotic recordings in stores saying things like, you're an honest person, you don't steal stuff, you buy, pay for everything. And they said it had such an impact on shoplifting that they said, well, we can't have these audios, because if you can tell people that, what if you tell them you're going to spend more money, only buy high expensive products, always come here? So they found these subliminal audios were so powerful at having people not steal, they could be used to make people buy stuff they didn't want. So they banned them. They're still banned to this day because they were so good. So people were doing their shopping and being hypnotized and didn't even know it. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think I've been a therapist 5 years now, and I've had so many people come to me and say, I really want to do this, but I can't be hypnotized. And actually, I find that they're the most suggestible, easily hypnotized people.
You'll never hypnotize me out like that. It's the ones who think it's going to be the hardest find it the easiest. And even in the Bible, it says, be changed in the blink of an eye. That is a direct reference to hypnosis. They used to have sleep temples where people would go and use hypnosis.
Amazing. Another question has come in. What skills do you need to have to be an RTT therapist? Can anyone really do this?
You need one particular skill, and it's called people skills. Do you like people? Have you been a hairdresser, a beautician? Have you been a nurse? Have you been a school teacher? Have you worked with people, and are you really interested in what makes people tick? Would you like them to tick better? So it simply isn't true you need a background in therapy. In fact, having trained so many therapists, we find that we retrain a lot of coaches and psychologists and NLP practitioners. They don't always become the best ones. We found that people who've worked, a school teacher maybe, even a beautician, or a traveling, as you know, I'm a hairdresser and I'm working with people all the time. They tell me all their problems. And I really like people. If you have some people skills and you like human behavior and it fascinates you or even interests you, you'd be really good at this. Even carers, you see, you know, I like helping people. I've got a terrible salary, but I went into caring because I want to do something where I feel I have meaning. I'm in a caring profession. Sadly, a lot of the caring professions pay so badly. It's so unfair. It shouldn't be that way. But if you have people skills, if you like people, if they interest you, that is the best requirement you can have to become an amazing therapist. I mean, I tell this story a lot. This girl came to me, I'm a cleaner, I'm very bright, but I got 2 kids. I've never found a job where I can start work at 9:30, finish at 3, get my kids from school, and take the day off if they're sick. The only job that gives me flexibility is cleaning, but it doesn't do anything for my brain. But what I do notice is my clients tell me all their problems, and I find it so interesting. So I trained her, and she has done so well. People say, well, how could you train a cleaner? But she wasn't a cleaner. She was a very smart girl who couldn't find a job that said, hey, start work at 10, finish at 3, work your own hours, take the whole of the school holidays off every 3 times a year. She couldn't find that job. And so being a therapist is a great job for women, for parents, because you can work it entirely around your kid. I remember one day my daughter fell out of a tree at school. I just went and got her and I counseled all my clients. I didn't have to say to her, hey, can I take the afternoon off? Can I take tomorrow off? Because I worked for myself.
Love that. Yeah. As a single mum myself, this just works like a dream for me. So, you know,
There's
the
almost nothing else
flexibility
it
is huge.
does.
Yeah.
The flexibility, the freedom, be your own boss, work your own hours, set your own fees and work from home. I mean, it's just perfect. And, you know, same whether you're a coach. We keep talking about being a therapist, but coaching too. A lot of our clients go, you know, I like having a coach. I'm an executive. I like a coach. So we love using the word coach. I coach police officers. I coach executives. I coach firemen, firewomen too, of course, because they want to say, I'm seeing my coach to get better. And you see, that's what it is. Therapy deals with the past, deals with what I call unfinished business. And coaching deals with the future. So when you can go back to the therapist and find out why somebody can't speak in public, why they're repelling love, why they're sabotaging and procrastinating, once you've fixed all of that in 1 or 2 sessions, you can then coach them to have the career of their dreams, the relationship, the body of their dreams, because they go together very well. One element fixes the past and one dramatically improves the future.
Question here. What makes RTT so effective and powerful?
Well, you know, a lot of therapy says turn up and let's talk every week and eventually we'll find out what's wrong. What RTT does in 1 session is this. It finds the pattern, understands the pattern, changes the pattern. Here's that guy who won the lottery, won $15 million and lost the whole lot. He'd been in therapy talking about it a lot, but when I went back and found the pattern, his parents saying, no, look at that rich bitch. These people don't know they're born. People like us never get to these heights. So he found the pattern. That's important. It's also important to change it in the same session, find it, understand it, change it. So when I work with alcoholics, we find the pattern, we make sense of it and we change it. So we find wealth blocks, abundance blocks, and we don't just find them, we change them in the same session. Talk therapy says, turn up and I'm not going to have an opinion, I'm just going to listen here and you're going to talk and talk and talk. But we do have an opinion and we say, you know, you do that because of that. That happened and it led you to do that. You know, I'll give you an example. I worked with a girl who said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I keep leaving a job every 3 months. I've never progressed like you have, Marissa, you know, to be at the top of your game because I've never kept the same career. Every 3 months I leave. If I don't leave, I get fired and I'm just stuck in a menial job. And then she was talking about her father. Her father had a shop and they lived above the shop in an apartment. And the father had the shop open 6.5 days a week. Sunday afternoon was only time off. On Sunday, he'd lie on the sofa going, oh my God, this job is killing me. I've got an ulcer, I've got a headache. This will be the death of me. And he'd say to that, this job is going to kill me. And, you know, people would knock on the door and go, hey, I've run out of cat food. And he'd serve them at 10 o'clock at night. And she said, yes, I picked up this belief. This thing called a job is going to kill you. When you have your own business. I said, but you know, darling, it wasn't the fact that your dad had a job. It was the fact that your dad couldn't shut the shop and say, I don't answer the door at 10 o'clock. He didn't get help. He did the stock taking, the stock keeping, or he did everything. And it wasn't the job, it was that he was inexperienced, didn't get help. And you don't have to have a shop. And she said, you know what, I want to be a travel PA. And to this day, after that session, she got a job as a PA for a guy who's got he travels all over the world, gets lots of paid time off. Because in 1 session, she said, oh, that's the pattern that my dad told me. This thing called a job will kill you. I was 5. I lived in a world of logic, not feeling. I learned what I lived. A job will kill you. I saw my dad suffering. So my brain said, don't have one of those things called a job. And then I kept rejecting that thing called a job. But when I reframed it, oh, he worked for himself. I'm going to be a PA with paid holidays And I'm never going to lie on the sofa with a flannel going, this is going to kill me. I'm going to go, aren't I lucky? I'm paid to have time off, and I'm traveling all over the world as a travel PA. So it's a real genius technique, and I call it a genius because I didn't invent it. My client showed me. Find a pattern, make sense of the pattern, change it. People say, I know why I drink, I still do. I know I stream with my kids, I still do it. So finding it's not quite enough. It's finding it, understanding it, changing it all at the same time. When you do that, it's powerful. But a lot of therapy just tries to find it, and some tries to change it, but we find it, understand it, change it all at once. And that's why it's so good.
Yeah, I always before I did the RTT session for anxiety, I was desperately searching for anything to help me. So I did talk therapy, I did CBT, I did online courses, and they provided what I describe as like a sticking plaster approach, where they'd make me feel better for a while. But then after a while, that sticky plaster would fall off, and suddenly that root cause, that pain suddenly came back. But then doing the RTT session and going straight to the root cause of why anxiety and where anxiety came into my life was actually, even just having that understanding was like the power to go, oh yeah, eureka moment. Now I know that I can set myself free from it, giving me that clarity.
That's the same thing. When you get curious, you get to the cure. So if you can book a call and find out more. Our sales team aren't doing hard sales. They're finding out, are you right for us or we're right for you? Could RTT be your dream career? We're going to talk about how we build your website for you, how we do your marketing, how we do everything with you as a partnership. You just make an inquiry, just book a call and say, can I really do this? What does it involve? What are the payment plans? How many hours a week would I have to do? Just book a call. And, going back to what you said, there's something called Hebbs, H-E-B-B-S. And Hebbs was a very famous psychoanalyst who discovered that the longer you spend in therapy, the worse it is. The first 6 months, I love talking about myself. The second 6 months, well, I'm not making any progress here. What's the point? How do I feel? Do you know one of the questions we never ask a client is, how do you feel? I never ask. I never say what's wrong with you. I say, what happened to you? What happened to you that you keep rejecting money? What happened to you that you sabotage you? What happened to you that you win the lottery and get rid of all that money? It's not what's wrong, it's what happened. And we can change what happened because, we can't change what happened. We can change how you feel about what happened. So when that girl said, that thing got a job will kill you, no, it won't. It will free you, empower you, delight you, take you all over the world. You see, we make our beliefs, and then our beliefs turn around and make us, and then something called confirmation bias means I look for proof of what I have chosen to believe, or the belief that was given to me, and you know what? I find it. I find it. So the good news is when you change a belief, it makes you, and you find proof of the new belief. So that girl who's still a PA and she's been promoted is having a wonderful life because of one thing. She found a pattern. She totally understood it and she changed it. And also in our team, we don't say, well, I'm the therapist, I'm telling you this, this, and this. We get the client to understand it. They make sense of it by using particular key, powerful RTT techniques. They can say, oh, well, that's not me anymore. Of course that happened. Of course I got rid of money because my mum said it was the root of all evil. I worked with a girl who, she was very ill, and John and I raised a lot of money to pay for her treatment. You know what she said? I want you to give it to someone who deserves it more than me. I'm like, darling, no one deserves it more than you. You're in a wheelchair, you're very sick. We've raised this money to pay. She goes, no, I want you to give it to someone else. Her dad was an minister. You know what he say to her every day? You must never have more than the poorest person. She never got a birthday gift. You must never have more than the poorest person. So when we raised all this money to get her better, her brain said, I must reject that. There's someone better than me who deserves this money. And it was so sad because she could have died. As it happened, when I worked with her, she accepted the money and she got better. But imagine that someone's raised money to get you well, to give you, and she said, I want you to give it to someone better than me. There isn't anyone better than you, except that's what she was told. You must never have more than the poorest person in the world, which means you must have a zero, nothing. And that's what she had. And after one session, she took that money, she got this amazing treatment, and she got out of that wheelchair, and she's living her best life. But she would have still been in it if she hadn't found the belief. We want you to do the same thing. Say, wow, I found someone that was really ill. I found someone that was self-sabotaging, procrastinating. I found someone that was so blocked they couldn't find love. They couldn't lose 10 pounds. I found someone. You know what? I used RTT because you built my website. You showed me how to niche. You built my message. You built my marketing. You even gave me a money-back guarantee that if you haven't earned your tuition back within a year, we'll pay. And now I'm finding the pattern, changing it. You know, when I was teaching in New York, this girl turned up and she said, literally, I was in Denmark. I've been depressed for 10 years. I had a session with one of yours. It changed my life. I want to train this as it's full. So I was so determined. I literally got on a plane, flew from Denmark to New York, stood outside the building we were teaching at the New York School College of Medicine. And she came in and said, please let me train with you. You don't know what you've done. And I said, okay, we'll fit you in. I mean, it was so brave of her to fly from Denmark to New York on a whim. She said, I've got cash. I've been depressed for 10 years with no end. And one session took the fog away. And I want to do that too. Her name was Connie, and she's one of our great therapists to this day, because we do something different. It's called rapid for a reason. You know, the brain is very patterned. And neuroplasticity means as I change my thoughts, my brain reshapes itself. So we were with depression, anxiety, all kinds of illnesses, stomach problems, skin problems. Doctors will tell you today that up to 80% of your illnesses are not caused by diseased organs, they're caused by diseased thinking. And when you get to heal your own migraines, skin conditions, gut issues, when you get to heal your own anxiety or panic attacks or stress, or biting your nails or having a nervous twitch, you think, wow, if it was that easy, I want to pass this on. Like Connie, who said, it's changed my life. I want to do I want your life. I want to change people. Because waking up and saying, gosh, someone in the planet is living a better life just because of the skill. Like someone on the planet sleeps better every night because of the skill I possess. It's kind of priceless. So imagine not just healing you, and passing that on. You know, I'm so glad that I do what I do and I can go to bed and think, wow, look at all these people. I have a wall in my office full of baby pictures because I was told I could never have a baby. I was told when I was 22, you can't conceive. I didn't even have periods at all. And if you could never carry a baby to full term, and you can't give birth to a normal baby. You've got a genetic abnormality. And when I got pregnant, had a perfect baby, I thought, well, I'm glad I didn't listen to that. But I realized I must pass that on too. And now there are so many babies coming into the world because I taught this technique, how to get pregnant, how to make your body ovulate a perfect grade A egg, attract a grade A sperm, make a grade A embryo, carry it to full term and raise a perfect baby, and have an easy birth as well. I mean, I slept through my entire birth, woke up at the end, pushed out a baby, and went home. I felt I'd gone to a store and bought her. It was so easy. But imagine that you can help babies come into the world, because unexplained infertility means that we can't explain it. Everything's working fine. You've got eggs, ovaries, a womb. It's something in here. Secondary infertility is the same. So we were with a lot of issues, infertility, irritable bowel, migraine, stress. We worked with little kids who are suffering with bedwetting and nightmares and fears of the dentist, you name it. We work with teenagers who are really anxious and unhappy and feel unworthy. In fact, I was teaching in Dubai yesterday, this big educational, educational huge day on how to raise the self-esteem of children. And here am I standing on a stage teaching these teachers from all over the world how to raise the self-esteem of children, thinking, gosh, how far I've come. My dad would be so proud of me. He was a teacher. And here I am teaching teachers. I mean, who would have imagined it? I was just a girl from a village in Cambridge, and I thought I'd be a teacher, which is a very noble thing to do. But in fact, I became a therapist, a speaker, a writer, and now I am a teacher. I teach therapists. But I'm really glad that my life has been so big that I can wake up and say, gosh, I see clients. Tomorrow I'm flying to Kuwait to teach some people. This week I finished my new book that Stephen Bartlett's published. And if you train with us, you have a choice. Hey, Marissa, I'm going to be a therapist. I'm going to sit in my community and work with kids like you do, or unhappy teenagers. But you can say, you know what, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to have my own blog. We have one of our therapists, Rosalind Palmer. written 2 books, got a blog, got her own column in a newspaper. Another one, Connie, was on CNN. Another one, Andrea, the BBC made a program about her success with infertility. So you can take it far. You can say, I'm going to write, I'm going to speak, I'm going to have a blog, I'm going to have a column in the paper. Or you can say, I'm just going to work with stressed out executives. I'm going to work with infertile women. You can take it as far as you want because we teach you marketing. We teach you message. We teach you mastery. We design your website and pay for it. And we find you clients. We don't say, here's a great therapy. You're trained now. Keep in touch. Let us know how you go. We say, let us find you clients. We believe in you so much that if you haven't got enough, your money back, your tuition fees back in 1 year, we refund the whole lot. Because it's a partnership between you and I. We train you. When we finish training you, we say, okay, you're an empath or you're a therapist. I know it feels a bit weird to do marketing and promotion. I'm a therapist. I can't do that promotion. It feels weird. So we do it for you. We promote you, build your website. We show you how to niche. We find your clients. We do everything. We even find your insurance. You're never on your own. And you got your certificate. But we do masterclasses every single month in niche areas. We have people like Mark Hyman coming on. We actually had John Gray, who came on. So we have people come on giving you guest masterclasses. People who specialize in eating disorders, alcoholism will come on and give you a masterclass. We have some great marketers coming on, like we had Jason, is it Jason Goldberg? Yeah, who came on and gave a masterclass on SEO, on getting really big on, you're now working with that guy, is it John James, about really getting big on Instagram and what to do on TikTok, how to find your voice, where's your client, who is your ideal client, where are they, and what message they need to hear from you. So we do all of that for you. We use experts to really help you get big on social media, and you really can. You know, last week, I was speaking on stage with Anna Winter, thinking, gosh, that little girl from Cambridge, look where I am now. Because if you have self-belief and you work hard in a certain area, you can do anything at all.
Marissa, thank you so much. I know that we are massively running over, so thank you for staying behind to answer all the questions, and thank you to the audience. Yeah, we've got one more, but I just want to finish because I think this is a really, really important one as well. I'm not fixed though. I still feel broken. Is that okay?
Well, imagine you wanted to be a therapist for AA and you called and said, hey, I'm perfect. And they said, no, if you want to work with alcoholics, you better have been an alcoholic, because that's the empathy. So when you come and train with us, every week you are doing therapy. You're being a therapist and you're being a client. And of course, because you're in the practice register, you're a therapist every week and you're a client every week. You have to do both, be a therapist and have someone to practice on. And so you say, I have insomnia. I am anxious. You know, we have a girl called Bertie who came on my first course, couldn't speak in public, had therapy for that. A few months later, I got asked to go on a show. I couldn't. I said, Bertie, do you want this? She goes, yes, please. And she went on for me on live TV. And she's amazing now. So we do work on you. If your issue is, I can't stop eating, drinking, smoking, I can't sleep, I can't speak in public, whatever your issue is, turn up with it. And during your training of having a lot of RTT sessions, you're going to fix your issue. Of course you are. You won't have it. I mean, look at Elise. She doesn't have her issue. Even though it was a diagnosed physical ailment, she doesn't have it. So we've done everything. We even had a guy on our class called Mark Carradis, and we fixed his eyesight. It was amazing. He had real problems with vision and was fixed.
And this is one of the things that before I sort of signed up to be a therapist, I thought, can I do this? Because I don't have it all together. You know, I was a bit of a hot mess at the time, but I knew I wanted to do it. But actually, I think personally, your struggles and your challenges and the things that you're still going through make you, you know, it's your superpower almost as a therapist, because it makes you real and relatable. So when clients come to you, you can completely relate to them and have that empathy for them. So I actually think it helps.
If you were going to a therapist, you would think, okay, what is my criteria? I want a perfect therapist with a perfect life. They've got to look amazing, have a great marriage, great body, look fantastic. Because I think, I don't want to go to them. You know, we actually have a therapist and she's extraordinarily beautiful, so I don't want to see her. She's too beautiful. She makes me feel inadequate. That's part of her challenge, is she's so beautiful that people think, well, how can you even relate to me? We want someone like us who's got divorced, had a terrible relationship, had a difficult time with their kids, sabotaged themselves. Because you go, oh, you did that? Yeah, I did. And look at me now. You know, a lot of our therapists had eating disorders. So yeah, I could not keep chocolate in the house for years, but now I can. So we've all had issues with dating idiots, not being able to leave food, self-sabotaging, not being able to keep money or love, getting something and then sabotaging it. So book a call. And I promise you, people want someone who is real, who's actually been through it. They can say, oh, really? You know, Wayne Dyer, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, all the best people. Louise Hay would say, no, I had an awful life. You know, Tony Robbins had 5 fathers. Wayne Dyer was brought up in a children's home. Louise Hay suffered tremendous abandonment, made them better therapists. You know, even Joe Dispenza, who talks about being in hospital for, I don't know, a year. That's what made him so good, because he could relate to what it's like when you're told we can't do anything, and the only thing he had was his mind. So don't try and hide your problems. If you've lost 100 pounds, put a picture, go, look, I did that. I used to smoke, I used to drink. I used to come home and not even do anything except lie on the sofa with inertia. Look at me now, and you can be the same. People like that. That's why I share my story of infertility, because I fixed it myself, and then I fixed it for thousands of people. And now I'm actually glad I had that diagnosis, because if I hadn't had it, I wouldn't have known what it was like.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I always think that MS came to me, into my life for a purpose, and that purpose was to take me on the wrong track that I was on and onto the right track and my life path. So absolutely. Marissa, thank you so much. You've given up so much of your time today. The experience itself was amazing. I think we'll all agree. I joined in. I always do the closing the eyes and doing it with you as well.
Oh, could you send me? I didn't get to see any. Could you send me the comments? Because I haven't seen them. Just screenshot them and send them. I love to lie on the sofa and read them all.
I'll share all the comments. But I think we can both say this is the most amazing career in the whole wide world. We're there to support you along the way. If you're looking for a life of purpose, passion, this is for you. Trust me. Like I say, my only regret was that I didn't do it earlier. And I jumped in, but I have never looked back. It's absolutely amazing. So book your call now. Like we say, the team are here to help you, to answer all of your questions. It's not a pushy sales call. Please don't think it is, like I did and then put it off, because they're interested in you, because they want to see that you're a good fit and the right fit for this program as well, so that it works for you and it works for us. But we are there to support you all along the way. So Marissa, thank you again so much for staying behind time. I'm going to stay on just for an extra 10 minutes.
I'm going to go, but Elise is going to stay on. I have to go because
there's so many questions. There's so many questions. So I'll stay behind for another 10 minutes. Elise is going to stay on for 15
minutes. She's going to answer your questions. The line's going to stay open for your call. So although I have to leave, I'm going to Q8 in the morning very early to give a talk. But Lisa's staying on for 15 minutes. The lines are staying open. And, you know, if you want to do this, what makes you a great therapist is having a heart for it, loving it, enjoying it, finding it fascinating and compelling, having a heart for it. You know, I've been doing it for amazingly 41 years, so hard to imagine. And I love it as much now as on day one. Who would have thought? All my friends are retiring. I'm like, I'm never going to retire. I love my job. It gives me so much. It gives me so much. So, you know, even this month, I'm going to Kuwait, I'm going to London, I'm going to Poland, I'm going to Singapore, somewhere else too, I can't remember where. But to find a job that gives you so much, that after 41 years, you never want to retire, is extraordinary. And guess what? You're going to feel exactly the same. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
love
Marissa.
you. Thanks for tuning in. We're doing this again, I think, next week, but a different healing modality. We're going to do a different healing modality every week. We're going to show you all the special things about RTT that can change your life and allow you to change someone else's life. And in the Quran, it says, if you change one life, that's the same as changing the whole world. And it really is. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Marissa. How amazing was that? I mean, I've been working with Marissa for about 5 years now, and obviously a super fan for about 10 years. And every time she does an experience, it's just so beautiful and it's so different. So I hope you all really loved and enjoyed that. There are literally hundreds of questions in the chat. So I'm going to run through some of the kind of most frequently asked ones. Quite a few of you have been asking about how long integrated takes. It runs approximately for about 21 months to complete, and it's kind of broken into different phases. So I'll just break that down for you. So first of all, you learn how to become an RTT practitioner. So that takes, I think it's around 6 to 9 months. And then after that, you move on to the kind of coaching section, where you'll get your coaching certification. That takes, again, around 4 to 5 months. And then phase 3 is if then you want to kind of take it to the next level, you can do advanced clinical and applied mastery so that you can become a clinical hypnotherapist as well. And that takes around 7 months. So around 21 months, but you can start to see clients after 6 to 9 months when you've completed your RTT training, because you can go out and do RTT and deliver RTT. So that was a big question that came in. What is it about RTT you like the most? What do I like the most? I just love the way that it's completely different to anything that I've ever experienced, because I've obviously experienced it as a client and now I deliver it. But I love that it goes to the root cause of the problem instead of, like I mentioned before, that sticking plaster surface symptom approach. Because for me and my personal journey, when I understood that actually MS came into my life because there was lots of unmet needs in childhood, and I was always I need to perform, I need to push myself. And it was almost like I wasn't getting the attention, so I just pushed myself more and more. And I took that little Elise, and that little Elise traveled with me as an adult into my working life and was still there crying out for help, for attention, but she couldn't use her voice to ask for it. And then little Elise was screaming for that attention, never got it. And then eventually it manifested. And the people that I work with, 99% of the people that I work with chronic health conditions who come to me, it's all about repressed emotion, unmet needs and repressed emotion, where we push things down so far down into our body that eventually there's no option, then they bubble to the surface and they can manifest themselves as physical health conditions. So the root cause, that's the absolute amazing thing that stands out from any other therapy, is that RTT goes to the root cause instead of treating the surface symptoms. And as I mentioned to Marissa, even just having the understanding of why and when and where something came into your life gives you the power to set yourself free from it, because then you can start to rewire and recode your mind to move forward. And that's what RTT combines, actually. So we do that work where it's the root cause, find out why something's come into your life. We reframe it. Okay, we have that understanding now. We know why it's there. But then we recode and rewire your mind to be more constructive, to have better habits of thought, better habits of action, to help move you forward. So it's not woo-woo. It's actual neuroscience, because this is all about neuroplasticity. It's like, I often describe it as, it's like learning any new skill, learning a new language. It's rewiring, recoding your mind, building those neurons, firing those neurons. So it's amazing and it's transformational. And obviously, my other favorite thing about it is that I've been doing this for 5 years now, and seeing clients come to me often in states of, you're my last resort, I really need your help. And then seeing them fly away 16 weeks later after they've done one of my programs is just the best feeling in the whole wide world. So yes, I love it. I feel like I'm the poster girl for it, because it helped me to overcome MS, got me well again, put me back on the life path that I was always supposed to be going on, because I left university wanting to be a therapist or a counselor or a coach, actually. And I just thought, I've got no life experience at all. I had like a sheltered life, grew up in a little Welsh mining village. How can I possibly be a therapist? Fast forward 20 years, overcame a chronic health condition, escaped a horrible narcissistic toxic marriage, overcame chronic anxiety, escaped burnout and a toxic work environment. And oh my gosh, there you go. There's your superpowers as a therapist. It's those challenges that you're going through or you've already overcome. So I'm just having another flick through, but I'm like 210 messages. So bear with me, because I'll stay here for another 10 minutes and go through. Quite a few people have asked, what does the program actually look like? And actually, I think we probably need a slide on that as well. So it's a self-paced online learning, but it's with the live mentorship that Marissa mentioned. So you do the live virtual classroom sessions, which I found hugely invaluable, because you go online and you're in Zoom rooms and you're with the trainers and you're with your peers. So you're getting to practice while you're doing it. You're getting to practice your RTT skills, you're getting to practice your coaching skills, and you're getting feedback from your peers, but also from the trainers as well. So it's helping you to get that practice in and to make you a better therapist and coach. You also get peer supervision and client-based practice as well through the Inner Belief platform. So that's what I was mentioned before, that you can, in 6 to 9 months, once you've done the RTT training, start to see clients if you want. A lot of people have said as well, when you first started out, how did you get clients and did you do practice? Yes, I did practice sessions on friends, family, anyone really. I was like, yes, come and experience this because I know that it works. And yeah, it was just amazing to do it on friends and family and to spend that time until I felt confident enough to say, okay, I'm now going to jump in and do actual clients. But saying that, it was probably only about 6 weeks in where I felt confident enough to just go, I'm going to work with like real clients now. I don't need to just make this friends and family because I want to make this a business. Because the confidence that even doing the program had given me, and the skills and the tools and the intense training that you get, is just amazing. And you will leave feeling amazing about yourself and knowing that you're a phenomenal therapist. And Marissa will make sure that you know that by the end of this program. So I'm just scrolling. What ongoing support do you receive? Okay, so it's weekly live coaching, it's business mentorship, it's continuous professional development. So once you've graduated, it's not just goodbye, go out into the world, see you later. We support you after that. So we give you the live coaching, we give you the business mentorship that you need. We make sure that you are on the continuous professional development path. We obviously have an amazing peer community out there as well. We are like one big, amazing, happy RTT and RTC family. We all support each other. We share client cases, like confidentially in confidential groups. A lot of the people that I actually did the program with, I still keep in touch with, and occasionally I'll be like, oh, I'm a bit stuck on this. What do you think about this? So it's really, you make friends for life ultimately. And like I say, if you're thinking, oh, I just feel a little bit trepidation about it, maybe a little bit anxious, please don't be, because as soon as you start, everyone is in the same boat and everybody's a little bit nervous and like not sure what to expect. But the support that you get and the friends that you make just make it like such a lovely, warm RTT and RTC family. What else is there? Tell me more about the therapy skills you will learn in RTT. So I've kind of spoken about that a little bit just before when I was answering the question about why do you love RTT. But really what we give you is holistic training, which is root cause therapy, obviously, and then reprogramming your mind. So we give you a whole big tool belt full of tools to use. So that's what I really love about RTT as well, going back to that question, is that actually I can choose different tools for different clients. So none of my client sessions are ever the same, because this is another amazing thing about this, is that you completely tailor your sessions, whether it's RTT, whether it's RTC, whether you're doing a program, because actually I don't do kind of one-off RTT sessions or just RTT on its own now. I do RTT with coaching in everything that I do. And that might be a 12-week program, or if it's working with people with physical health issues, it's a 16-week program, an ongoing support. But that what I love about it is that every single client that I have, I tailor a program to them. So it's based specifically on their needs. And from that, I choose the tools from my RTT and RTC tool belt that I know they need to get them to where they want to be. So when we first get a client in, we do kind of a full intake to get really crystal clear on what they want to achieve in the program, what they want to get out of it, life beyond the problem. We want to get them there so they're already visualizing that endpoint. And then my job as a therapist is then to put together that program of what that looks like. But again, you get support from the team for this as well. You know, you get help choosing your niche. But what I would say, because somebody else has asked about that, sorry, there's lots of questions and I'm kind of tying them all in, is that someone was asking about like, how do I choose a niche? Sometimes I think a niche just finds you. It was just kind of a no-brainer that when I first started out, I worked with mainly people with like low confidence and self-esteem. I had experience in that area, and going from having zero confidence, zero self-esteem to flying high. So I started out there, but then as time went on and I grew as a therapist, and, you know, I did the CPD with the RTT school as well, I thought, I want to go on and help others now with more sort of critical things like health issues, like serious chronic anxiety. And so I sort of worked my way up to there and then flew from there. But I always think if you're going to choose a niche, you don't think that you have to choose a niche straight away either. You know, go and do just general sessions with people and find your niche from there. Or just use your previous experience or challenges or anything that you know a lot about. I mean, Marissa uses this as an example a lot. Like, don't go and specialize in addiction issues if you've never struggled with addiction yourself, or someone close to you has, because you can't understand it unless you have that background knowledge. But yes, going back to what I was saying about RTC integrated as it is now, is that it covers everything. It covers every tool that you'll ever need, so that we have that support to get rid of all the weeds from the past, plant the seeds for the future, and make the plan to get people there. So many questions. I'm going to answer one more question before I go, because I'm mindful that we've been on for almost 2 hours and you must be getting sick of my voice. There was one that I just saw there. Will there be a replay? I understand that everybody that has joined today will get a replay of today. What makes RTT so powerful? I think I've already done that one. Lots of lovely comments. I'm full of cool energy. Yes. And that's what we aim to do with these sessions, actually, is to just everybody higher vibration, energized, because that's what RTT is all about, raising your energetic vibration, getting you to that place that you need to be, overcoming those limiting beliefs and those blocks holding you back, and transforming and transporting you into the future. So I'm going to wrap this up because there are too many questions. But as Marissa said, we are doing these weekly. So if there's something that's been missed, or you just fancy another session with Marissa, come and join us then. Watch out for the emails going around about that. But thank you so much to everybody who has joined today. I hope that has answered a lot of your questions. I think we probably need a session which is purely around Q&A, to be honest, looking at all these messages that have come in. But thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for all your lovely, amazing comments. You've been an amazing audience, and I hope to see you again soon. But sign up, book that call. I promise you, best decision I ever made, best decision you'll ever made. Take care, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Have a great day, have a great evening, and see you again very soon. Take care. Bye.
You're in the best training room in the world. And I don't care whether that's a biased statement. I really don't care, because I've seen it. You will not be the same people at the end of the week.
I've helped people heal themselves from lots of issues, confidence issues, anxiety, done over 1,000+ people. You are just starting a new journey that you have no inkling where it's going to take you. Just enjoy the journey, because it's incredible.
Today you're going to be doing your very first exercise.
Some of these students are brand new, they haven't hypnotized anybody before. What we do is we have them in threes. So one person's a client, one's the observer, and one's a therapist, and then they rotate. So they kind of get a 360 experience. And then when they go to watch Marissa later, they kind of think, well, that's what I was doing earlier. So they can relate already, and it's only day one. That's the beauty of the live RTT experience.
I'm learning so much by being here in the room, seeing Marissa in person, and just seeing the incredible transformations happen.
RTT Live, it has been incredible.
Marissa is so giving and caring and loving, and she just gave us everything.
It just built up. Every single day had its own magic. I love that feeling when you empower the person to be free of any limitations they feel.
The only method that goes into the root cause. I mean, I tried it for myself, and it works.
We can find people's beliefs and switch them for the better, and that helps people fast.
Everybody receives so much. It's incomparable to anything else ever.
The best thing I've ever done. It's the best training I've been on in my life.
Every single person here is like-minded. It's so exciting.
It's rare to get such a group of people that are genuinely this supportive of each other and encouraging each other.
You just feel like someone cares about you being an amazing therapist. It's worth it. It's worth that money. It's worth even more, 10 times more.
Being able to have my own therapy business and help people already, I've got 2 clients. Being able to have a lifestyle that I want is really important for me.
My first 3K client.
I signed up my first UK-based client.
Of the 9 discovery calls, I had 7 paid customers.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to university to do this. I could do it in my own time. I could do it from home. I can now help people who have maybe anxiety, OCD, depression, confidence issues. And I really want to be able to help those people because that was me.
If you have that desire to go and help people and also help yourself at the same time, then RTT is an amazing, accessible, easy, simple way to go and live your dreams and do this.
I feel limitless, if I'm honest.
It changed my life. Can't ask for more.
Come and see it for yourself.
I am enough. Life-changing. You have to do this now.
It's magical.
When I'm on my deathbed, this is one of the memories that's going to come up.
I'm here at RTT Live, training another generation of people who are going to go out and change the world. This is the most amazing therapy, but don't take my word for it. We're going to ask them, was it worth it?
Here we go. Yeah, we will.
Okay, we just wrapped up the live event in Dubai. It's a sad time to see it end, but it's so exciting to see all those new students with their certificates heading out into the world. Already looking forward to the next event to train lots of more great therapists.
What a week it's been. It's been amazing. The sense of community that they form from being in here is amazing because they come in, they don't know each other, and they're leaving today, they're hugging, they're exchanging numbers, and you know they're going to be staying in touch because this is the kind of course that brings people closer. And you know what I need now? I need some sleep.
Yeah, me too.